The potatoes go to war. Pat Potato and Sal Potato were talking one day about how the garden was becoming packed. All of the potatoes had been pushed into a corner. It was room that they lacked. Pat and Sal looked over the rest of the garden. Everything was green. The tomatoes and carrots took up half of the garden. Green beans over there. Beets there. This made Sal Potato very angry. Sal said, "We are potatoes and we deserve more room in the garden." Sal got all of the potatoes together. "Listen to me," Sal said to them. "This is our garden too. Let's take back our garden and make it ours again." With that said, all of the potatoes shouted, "Yeah!" The war had started. Since they were closest to the top, the potatoes attacked the carrots first. The carrots were thrown out of the garden. The potatoes showed them no mercy. Then Sal said the cruelest thing. "It's not meat and carrots, or green beans, or beets. It's meat and potatoes." Next, the potatoes threw out the beets. The beets screamed for mercy. But the potatoes showed none. The battle cry became, "Potatoes, potatoes, not green beans, not beets, not carrots, not tomatoes, but meat and potatoes." The potato army smashed the tomatoes. The army of potatoes finally made their way down to the green beans. Sal said, "There they are. Let's throw these string beans out." The green beans did not stand a chance against the raging potato army. Finally, the potato army came upon the lone celery stalk. They surrounded him. The lone celery stalk tried to defend himself. He tried to explain that he was badly treated in the garden as well. But the potato army would not listen to him. And with all of their might, the potato army threw out the celery stalk. And then the potato army was finally alone in the garden. The potatoes raised up their arms in the air and celebrated. They chanted, "Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes, potatoes." But not all of the potatoes were celebrating. Pat Potato was sickened at what had happened in the garden. Pat said, "I don't think that it was the right thing to throw out the other vegetables and fruit." But Sal and the other potatoes disagreed and threw out Pat for sympathizing with their many enemies. Pat Potato was all alone now. The garden was no longer home. Pat made it all the way down to the bottom of the drainage ditch where all of the other vegetables and fruit were. There they all mourned what had happened to them and the garden that had once been so beautiful a home to them. Pat wandered alone, going from ditch to ditch, until Pat made it all the way back to what was left of the garden. The soil was a grainy black, and there was no life in sight. No life except for Sal Potato. Sal was dried up and all alone now. Sal recognized Pat and begged for Pat to help him. Pat was sad because there was nothing to be done to help Sal. 17 sunrises later, Pat Potato had planted new seeds in the garden. The potato war was over and there was a quiet hum in the morning air.